The calls I hate most don't come from buyers who lost a house. They come from people who already closed and then found out what they actually bought. Those problems are a lot easier to deal with before you own the house. Once you close, there's no more leverage. The repair bill is yours. The stress is yours. And it gets a lot harder to unwind. So today, I'm walking through the types of homes Houston buyers need to slow down on before they buy. Not because they're automatically bad. Some of them turn out to be great purchases. The difference is whether you know what you're buying before emotion takes over. Stay with me because this could save you from a very expensive surprise. I'm Thomas Priddy, a lifelong Houstonian and Cypress resident. I help buyers, sellers, and relocators just like you make smarter real estate decisions in Greater Houston and Cypress. If any of what I cover today applies to a house you're already looking at, text me. My information is in the description. And people just like you reach out every week with questions about a neighborhood, flood risk, an older home, or a listing they found online. No pressure. We're just gonna have a real conversation before you get too far into a decision that deserves a second look. Houston is giving buyers more room to breathe right now. Inventory is up, and homes are sitting longer in a lot of areas, which usually means more room to negotiate and more time to actually think before you commit. But more choices isn't the same as better choices. Some homes are sitting because the market slowed down. Others are sitting because of the price, condition, location, or flood history nobody's talking about yet. And Houston has its own rules. Clay soil that moves under foundations. Flood risk that isn't always obvious from a map. Humidity that creates moisture problems most buyers never think to check. Older systems hiding behind original charm. Flips that look flawless and hide years of deferred maintenance behind the fresh paint. You don't need to be scared of every home with a red flag. You just need to know which questions to ask before you sign anything. And here are the 5 that you need to watch for. Older Houston homes are easy to fall in love with. Mature trees, established streets, character you can't get from new construction. But you're not just buying the charm, you're buying everything behind the walls. Start with the electrical. Older panels and outdated wiring weren't built for how modern homes actually use power. That's a safety issue, an insurance issue, and a repair cost issue all at once. Plumbing deserves the same scrutiny. Old pipe materials corrode and restrict flow in ways you'll never catch during a showing. That faucet, it runs fine right up until it doesn't. If the home was built before 1978, lead-based paint is on the table. Disclosure isn't the same as knowing your actual risk, especially if there's kids in the picture. Asbestos can turn up in flooring, insulation, or ceiling texture. Most buyers find out the hard way, mid-renovation after the demo's already started. And then there's the foundation, which is where Houston gets very specific. Our clay soil expands and contracts with moisture, and that movement puts real pressure on slabs over time. Doors that stick, cracks near windows, uneven floors, separation at the trim or brick. None of that automatically means the house is falling apart. Houston homes move. The question is whether that movement is normal, manageable, or expensive. So I'm going to tell you to get the inspection. Bring in a foundation specialist if the signs are there. Have an electrician look at the panel. Price the home for the work it needs and not the way it feels when you're standing in the kitchen. Older homes aren't the problem. Buying one like it's a new build is. Here's the assumption that gets buyers in trouble. It's not in a high-risk flood zone, so it's fine. Houston doesn't work that way. A home can sit outside a high-risk zone and still deal with drainage issues, street flooding, or bayou proximity that never shows up on a flood map. Elevation, nearby development, past storms, all of it matters, and none of it is in the listing. Flood risk doesn't just threaten a house. It shrinks your future buyer pool and complicates your insurance, even after the repairs are done right. So ask the direct questions. Has it ever flooded? Was water inside the structure? Were repairs documented? What do the FEMA maps actually show? A seller's disclosure is a start. It's not your whole due diligence process. If a home looks underpriced for the neighborhood, flood history is the first thing I check. Sometimes the price means a motivated seller. Sometimes it means the house is trying to tell you something. The goal isn't to panic. It's to know exactly what you're accepting before you accept it. Houston humidity finds its way into places you won't see on a walkthrough. Places like attics, wall cavities, ductwork, and crawl spaces. And mold doesn't always announce itself. No smell, no visible sign. All the while, it sits behind drywall or underflooring from a leak that was never properly dried out. Water stains, a musty smell, one random fresh patch of paint. These are the details a normal showing lets you miss. If there's any evidence of past moisture, that's your cue for air quality testing or a specialist, not a shrug. HVAC belongs in this conversation too. A unit can run fine during the inspection and still be near the end of its life. And in Houston, HVAC isn't a luxury. It's whether the house is livable half the year. So get the service records. Find the age of the equipment. Ask if it's been maintained or just kept alive. A buyer who skips this can move in feeling like they got a deal, then face a full system replacement within a year. I want you to know that none of this automatically kills the deal. It's just information. The real question is whether the price already accounts for it or whether you've got the budget left if it becomes yours. This is the easiest trap in Houston real estate. New countertops, fresh paint, updated lighting. The photos do exactly what they're designed to do. Convince you the hard work is already done. Sometimes it is. A lot of the time, it's a decorated home wearing the mask of a renovated one. A seller can spend on the kitchen and ignore the roof. New appliances tell you nothing about the electrical panel, the drainage, or the foundation underneath. So ask for the paperwork. What was actually done? Were permits pulled? Were licensed trades used? Quality work has a paper trail that matches the story. If the finishes are new, but nobody can explain the roof, the plumbing, or the foundation, slow down. A beautiful kitchen isn't a reason to skip the inspection. The right flip can be a great buy. The wrong one is someone else's shortcut at your expense. Not every risk is structural. Some homes are a problem because they're too personal to the current owner. Bold finishes, converted rooms, unusual layouts. None of it means the home's in bad shape. It means the buyer pool for it just got smaller. If you're planning to stay 10 plus years and you love it, that may not matter to you. But if there's any real chance you sell in the next 5 to 7 years, the next buyer's tastes need to be a part of your decision today. Ask what you would need to change before resale. Is the layout limiting? Are the finishes expensive to undo? Will the house still show well in 5 years? Is the price already accounting for a smaller pool of buyers? A home needs to fit your life and still make sense as an asset. That is the standard. Before you commit to any home in Houston, read the seller's disclosure carefully. Pay attention to what's vague or missing, not just what's stated. Verify flood risk through more than one source. FEMA maps, county resources, neighborhood history, elevation information. Match your inspection to the property, not a generic checklist. Older home, bring in an electrician or foundation specialist. Moisture concerns, get environmental testing. Recent flip, dig into permits and workmanship, not just finishes. And ask directly, has it ever flooded? Were renovations permitted? How old are the major systems? Has the foundation ever been repaired? And what did the seller know about but not fixed? If those answers are unclear, that's an answer too. A good deal still makes sense after the questions get answered. If it only works when you avoid asking those questions, that's the red flag. The great news, I can help you navigate all of this. I've walked buyers through every one of these situations. Sometimes the move is negotiating credits or repairs. Sometimes it's walking away. And walking away from the wrong house isn't losing. It's protecting yourself from a decision you can't undo after closing. If you're looking in Houston or Cypress and want a second set of eyes on a property before you make a move, text me. My information's in the description. No pressure, no pitch, Just a straight answer about what I'd be looking at if I were in your position. None of the 5 homes I've covered today are automatic no's. Older homes can be great. Flood risk properties can make sense for the right buyer. A flip can be a strong purchase when the work was done right. A unique home can be worth it when the price reflects the resale picture. The danger isn't the house, it's buying blind. Houston is too specific a market for guesswork. The soil, the weather, the flood history, the age of the systems, all of it matters. A smart buyer doesn't just ask, do I like this house? They ask what it's hiding, what the market already knows, and what the next buyer will care about. That's how you avoid expensive regret. If this helped, subscribe. I break down Houston and Cypress real estate every week. Neighborhoods, pricing, relocation, and what you need to know before you make a move here. And before you go, watch this next. I break down Houston neighborhoods by price point, commute, lifestyle, and long-term value so you can start narrowing your search the right way. I'll see you over there.